Working late, alone, focused on what I was making, I glanced up, and a shadow, where I was unaccustomed to seeing one, spoke my name. Yes? I'm not afraid. Name one instance in your life where you acted on behalf of someone else with no consideration for yourself. So, let's come as quickly and painlessly as one might devoutly have wished. No symptoms that I'm aware of, no diminutions earlier than I would have hoped, and certainly not as a reward for achieving what I hoped to achieve, but here it was. One instance where you acted on behalf of someone else with no consideration for yourself. That's all? Well, when I sent in money to NPR that time, but you listened to NPR. I see what you mean. Well, when I've given a dollar to a beggar, but that was for you to feel better. Well, I certainly, when I've held out a hand to steady a stranger who's lost their balance on the subway, but you didn't want to have to watch them suffer, or look indifferent to your fellow commuters. So the studying of the stranger was in the end for you. Well, many times I've smiled at someone that I needn't have smiled at, or extended myself to a younger person in my profession, or made an anonymous donation, but you told your partner, your doctor, your friends. You made a mental note to boost your self-esteem. I am asking, when you have contributed to the common good because it was lacking and in need of your contribution, when you've made the shared lot of humanity less onerous, less painful in some fashion for no other reason than the simple truth that all creatures are in need, and you helped slake their thirst, warm them, extend their lives. One single instance when your own well-being was set aside for the good of every other sentient creature. And in the simplicity of the challenge, I knew at once that I'd been deceiving myself from birth until this moment, and that I would not be admitted into the kingdom behind the shadow. I would not be permitted to meet my maker. There were no excuses or explanations that I could make. That in fact I'd been nothing of my time, except for little decorations for my own amusement, and that I was hopelessly lost, and would not be reborn or see paradise or find relief from the doubt and darkness that had accompanied me all this way. And I simply nodded, and the voice said, "Would you give up 1 year of your life if you knew it would grant all creatures infinite purchase on this earth?" Well, yes, I said. And the voice said, "If you could have a little bit more life, a little bit more than all the others, knowing they would die in an ignominious and needless way, for in order for you to have that tiny surplus of the goods on the earth." And before the voice had finished posing the question, I said, yeah. And I awoke into the same world we all share, where every hour of every day is filled with the ceaseless wonders of the earth, and we all turn our attention, hour after hour, to the collection of vignettes on the glowing screens we've made, saved up for, where enacted drama, where enacted is the drama of our self-serving, the men and women in positions of great power pronouncing what sound like words, but words without meaning, mirroring and magnifying our collective acceptance of all futility. Our embrace of their bleeding marketplace of ceaseless sensations added to the sensations that came before and stretch ahead, piling upward, stifling all life, depleting hope, suffocating and drowning reason and goodness, which we all know we're capable of producing and preserving and ensuring. And yet, well, you know,